All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this again. I keep getting my fat ass in the reflection. First time I didn't have a shirt on. I didn't think you want to see my ugly belly. Last time. Yeah. Anyhow, so this is my 1993 Virago 1100. I'm 32 years old. Everything on it is still original. The only thing I had to replace, well, I didn't really replace it. The dash, I had it re-chromed. Sent it off to the chrome shop and had it redone. It was flaking, but as you can see, we have 14,789 miles on it. So 32 years old, less than 15,000 on it. My initial plan was, I've been parked for a while, was to pull the tank, the front and the rear fender, and have them repainted with a factory color blue. I just got too sick and just never did it. As you can see, it looks in pretty good shape for being 32 years old. You can see on the saddlebags, they do unzip and come off. I can pull them off. I know they're a little flimsy looking. Once you put stuff in there nice and firmed up, it is real leather. These are real leather. Really nice leather too. It's not the cheap saddlebags. But anyhow, so the update is I charged the battery for 3 days. It said my battery was charged at 14.4 volts. Behind that chrome right there is the battery compartment. It's a heavy battery. Yeah, I put the battery in, I went to start it, and there was no power. No cranking amps. It had the voltage, but no cranking amps. So I got a ride from my neighbor, went into town, got a new battery, come back, put it in, and it wouldn't start. It turned over, it wouldn't start. I figured, okay, well, it needs to get some fuel in the carburetors because they've been drained for 2 years. And the bottom of the carburetors were open. In case there was any excess fuel in there, it would evaporate out. So it took about 3 tries, and I could hear the fuel pump kicking on before the carburetor was full. On the 4th attempt, it tried to start, but it didn't want to start. It sounded like crap. 5th attempt, it finally started, and it ran like shit. And after the 6th attempt, trying to get it running, I had all this smoke and stuff coming out from underneath it. I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry for my language, but I'm a construction worker. That's just the way I talk. Anyhow, see all this shit on the ground? This is what got blown out of the exhaust system. Get close up to it. You can see there's feed, and there's paper, and there's insulation. The insulation caught on fire. Blowing out of the exhaust. The frickin' mice have been living in my exhaust system. What the fuck? No, they didn't go into the saddlebags. They could have gone into the saddlebags. Nope, they didn't go into the saddlebags. They went into the exhaust system. Yeah. It took several attempts, but I finally got it all blown out. I was able to drive it down the road. That's behind the curtain. That there is red. The one you're hearing is Brewster. So anyhow, so she does start up. I forgot about that. I need to put that inside. It's a reminder for me. I gotta put that on. I was wondering where I put that. Anyhow, so there's the Virago 1100. She does run. She runs great. Now that I blew out the exhaust, the mice. But let's see. This cylinder here was completely rebuilt. It's got a brand new piston, and the cylinder wall was replaced. Of course, new rings and everything. So it was a total rebuild. And then both heads were rebuilt. So what happened was, when I sold the bike, the guy never made payments, so I ended up, after 4.5 years, I repoed it back. So I got it back, and what he had done, the valves needed to be adjusted. Every so often you have to adjust the valves. And there's this little cover right here, gives you access to the valve so you can adjust your valves. It's a really simple process. There's one on both sides of the head for each head. Evidently, from what the mechanic told me, was he pulled this off, disconnected the bolt there, spun the cam, not knowing, did whatever he was going to do, and then put it all back together, and then tried to start it. Put one of the valves into the piston, damaged the piston, and bent the valve and the valve seat. So it all had to be rebuilt completely. And of course, at the time we didn't know which one was bad, so you had to pull both heads off. So we rebuilt both heads, and then you had to rebuild that cylinder. But he had to pull everything off and rebuild it. That one there actually has new rings. Original piston, but new rings. This one here is new piston, new rings, new sleeve. And of course, after he did the full rebuild on it, he did the compression tests, and it's as if it was brand new. So, and it runs like brand new, like if it's brand new. I told when I got it back, I rebuilt the carburetors, because what he did was he left fuel in it and sat for 4.5 years, and so yeah, it was painter's varnish was in everything, so it had to be totally redone. But yeah, I spent a little bit of money getting it all put back together. And then today, that battery was not cheap. It was $139, $139.99. Well, we'll just round it up a penny and say $140, because we have high taxes anyhow, so might as well. So I put that battery in there, and it's a sealed battery. I'm tired of those ones that you gotta fill. So it cost me like $60 more to have a sealed battery, but it's the same. It's the battery that's for it, but it's you can use it in water. They use them in watercraft vehicles and ATVs and whatever. So it's black, so when the cover's off and the chrome there's taken off, it looks like the black piece that's underneath it that supposedly is supposed to hide the battery. It's a strap that holds the battery in, but it also hides the battery, so you don't see a battery. But when you take the chrome off now, it looks like it's all black. So it actually looks good that way. But as you can see, it's kind of dirty still. It was only washed off by rain. You can see there's still a lot of dirt here and stuff, dust that needs to be washed out. A power wash will take care of it. This is not bad for a rain wash job. Anyhow, so this is my 32-year-old motorcycle that runs like it's pulled off the showroom floor. So it runs like brand new. I am going to see what it would cost to have the tires replaced, because they are kind of old. Front one I know is an easy one to do. Back when I'm a little more worried about how much it's going to cost, because it is a shaft-driven motorcycle. And that's why I bought this bike. I owned one before. It was the 800. And I loved it. Didn't like that it didn't have very much gas distance. But I loved it. Because I didn't have to deal with the sprockets and the chain. You know, the chain stretches, sprockets wear out. Nope. That's a shaft-driven bike. I love that. When I got the opportunity to buy this one, and it was an 1100, I jumped on it. It was a good price that I paid for it at the time. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this bike. So anyhow, that's my update. It does run finally after cleaning all that or blowing all that crap out of the exhaust. Yeah, when your exhaust is plugged up by mice filling it full of crap, it might not want to start. Good thing there's a good compression on this, and it forced it out. So anyhow, so that's my little update on my Virago 1100. I'm going to drive it into town tomorrow. Get the registration updated on it. I'm going to just keep it active as a backup vehicle for emergencies, because my truck transmission went bang, and now I got to take it in on Tuesday to have it replaced. So I've been without a vehicle and been depending on my neighbors for a ride. So it's always nice to have an emergency vehicle. And that's what this is. Anyhow, as you can hear, both my roosters are going at it. So thanks for watching the video.